Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Victoria's Creations. Today I want to show you how to make Simplicity Pattern 8156. It is the Buddy Pocket Pillow. You got your 4 little animals that go in the little pockets here. So let's jump right into the video and I'll show you how to get this made. Okay, so for this pattern, you're going to want to cut out all of your pieces. So on here I have number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, which is this big one back here, and 8. So just follow the instructions for cutting them out. Some you have to cut multiple, so like number 6, you have to cut 8 of them. Number 5 has to cut 2. So get all those cut out, and then we'll start combining all of our pieces. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to combine our pieces 1 through 4. So I have them just lined up here. So all I'm going to do is take 1 and 2 and just stitch them together. So I'm going to fold it over and then just stitch this so when I open it, it'll look like that. And then I'm going to do that with all of them. So let me get that under the sewing machine and start getting that sewn. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. So I'm just going to take 1 and 2, fold them on top of each other, and then just stitch down the one side. Only one side. So now when you open it up, it looks like that. Now take number 3. I'm going to fold it over on the bottom half of number 2. And I'm going to stitch down that side. So now it's starting to get longer. And then we're going to do the same thing with 3 and 4. So we're going to fold over that one on top of number 3 and stitch down that line. So now you'll have a panel that looks like this. Now we'll move on to the next step. You should have 2 pieces of number 5 cut out. So we're going to attach them to our piece that we just sewed together. So lay your side flat. If you have a side that has 2 different colors, you want right sides together. Mine does not do that, so I don't have to worry about that. But you're going to take your piece that you just sewed, and you are going to line it up on one of your ends, and then you're just going to stitch down the end that you just lined up. So then it's going to look like that. Then we're going to do the same thing with our other piece. I'm going to lay that down. We're going to take our piece that we just sewed together, and we're going to line that up on one of the ends, and then we're going to stitch down again. So now you'll have your pillow front done, and now we have to add our top piece. So your long piece that you had cut out, that you cut 2 of, we're going to add that now. So we're just going to line it on our top. So if you have pieces that are facing up, like my sharks are facing up, I know this is the top. So I'm going to take my piece and I'm going to line it up on the top here, and I'm going to stitch across there. Okay, so there you have that piece. So now we're going to do the same thing with our back piece. So let me get those pieces and I'll show you that one too. So I have my back panel piece and my other long piece. So I'm just going to lay it down. And if you're not sure which way it goes, you can always take your other piece and lay it on top so that you know. And I have my other long piece that I'm going to line up on the top here and then stitch down again. And there we have our back panel piece. Okay, so now we have to make our pockets that go on the front panel. So you had all of those little triangle looking things that you cut out. You should have cut out 8 of them. So you're going to make sure you place them wrong sides or right sides together. And then you are just going to stitch around, leaving a small opening in the bottom. So let me show you. So now you're going to want to clip your 4 corners. And then right side it out. So you left that opening in there for this reason. And then just fold in your opening. So you'll have it like that. You can leave it open for now. We're going to fix that when we sew it onto the pillow. So do that with your other 3 pockets. And then we'll move on to getting them onto our front panel. So I made my 4 little pockets and I have my front panel here. So now we're just going to take our little pockets and we're going to place them where you want them on the front of the pillow. So I just want my 4, just like how the picture shows on the pattern. I'm just going to place them on here. And then I'm going to pin them in place so that they don't move when I'm sewing. Now that I have them pinned, I am just going to sew the 3 corners. So when I'm sewing over it, it's going to sew in that opening I left. Do not sew the top because that's the pocket piece. So I'm going to sew around the 3 ends on all 4 pockets. Let me get that done. If you want, you can do a zigzag stitch here to add a little bit to it. I like to do that, but a straight stitch will be fine too. Your front of your pillow with your pockets. So all we're going to do now is take our back panel piece and we're going to line up right sides together and we're going to stitch around all 4 corners, leaving a small spot open. Doesn't matter where you leave it open. You can leave it open the bottom, the top, but stitch all the way around, leaving a small spot open. So let me do that. So now that you've finished sewing all the way around, you've left your opening somewhere, clip your corners. And now you're ready to turn it right side out. So there is your first part of the pillow. So all you're going to do now from here is stuff it, and then we're going to just close the top. You can do invisible stitch here. I'm just going to use the machine and just do a real small stitch over it. But let me get this stuffed and stitched. So hang on a moment. Okay, so I've stuffed it and I did a little zigzag stitch along the top. So my pillow is all done and it's now time to move on to the animals that go in the pockets. So let me get those cut out, or start to get them cut out, and I'll show you how I do those. So for your little animals, you're going to cut them out. I have the little owl cut out here because my pillows I'm just going to have owls in. But if you want one of each, just cut out all the animals. And then for my material, I actually make them out of craft felt, which you can get in packs from Walmart for like $2. They come in pretty decent sizes. And I just fold it over, place my little animal on there, and I trace him. And then I cut him out. And then for like the belly and the eye stuff, I do a different color. So let me get my 4 little owls cut out, and then I will show you what I do for the eyes and how I stitch them together. So I have all of my little animals cut out here. So you can add eyes if you want. You can either draw them on, or I have these little eyes that I'm going to put on. So you can get a whole pack of eyes like this from Amazon for like $15. And it's really nice because it has all different sizes and colors. But for this one, I'm just going to use the little ones. And all you're going to do is take your two pieces apart because you don't want them together when you put the eye in. And you're just going to mark where you want the eye to go. So I want mine like right in the middle. I'm just going to put 2 dots. And then I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut just a little hole on both spots. And then you're going to push your eye through the hole that you just cut. So it looks like that. And then you'll have these little backings that you're going to push into the back of the eye. It can be a bit difficult to get on there. So there's the little eyes on there. And then the next thing you're going to do is sew on the stomach. Again, don't put your pieces together yet because you want to be able to stuff it. So I'm going to sew the stomach on. And then there's your little stomach. You can sew this part, which I usually do just to keep it from sticking up like that. So I usually just sew just around there. I leave the top part because the eyes hold it. So your little guy will look like that. And now we're ready to attach the body piece. So we just place it on top. And I'm using black thread. You can match your thread to the pattern if you want, because it is going to be visible when we sew around. I'm just going to use black thread. I think it makes it look a little more rustic. And I'm just going to stitch all the way around. I'm going to leave a small spot open between the arm and the leg, but I'm going to stitch all the way around the rest of it. Now I'm ready to stuff him. So let me stuff him, and then I'm just going to stitch that closed, and then you got your first little bear done. And then do the same with the other 4. My little bear. So now I'm going to do the other 3 and then I'll put them in the pillow and show you when it's all done. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you guys have any questions on anything I did in the video, just leave them in the comments and I will try to answer them the best I can. And feel free to like and subscribe, and I hope whoever you give this to enjoys it. Thanks for watching.